Hi everybody, welcome along to episode 186 of Percussion Discussion Podcast. As usual, I'm going to ask you to please check out all of our social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and of course our world famous YouTube channel where you can find all of our conversations, past and present. These have the video to accompany. Please subscribe to the channel. There's no adverts to get in the way of your enjoyment. It just lets you know when there's any new content, which there is quite regularly. Obviously there's the interviews, and of course there's occasionally the odd rig rundown and things like that, so we don't want you to miss that. So please subscribe. If you'd rather listen on the go, then no problem. All of our conversations are available in podcast form, and these are free to download from your favourite podcast providers. Again, if you could rate, review, subscribe, whatever you need to do, it really, really helps. So that would be amazing. On to today's guest. I've been asked for this gentleman a while, and I'm glad to say the stars have aligned and we've managed to do this. He doesn't do many interviews, so I feel very privileged. He started out his playing career playing for the Queen musical, We Will Rock You. I think he went on tour with that as well. He's played alongside his dad in Queen with Adam Lambert, there's a clue. He's played for Brian May. He's played for the late, great Jeff Beck. And since 2015, he is playing for the amazing band The Darkness. It gives me great pleasure to welcome the wonderful guy and remarkable drummer that is Rufus Taylor. Rufus, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Not at all, Matty. Thanks very much for having me.
Mate, it's a pleasure. Now, we were talking before, we don't really see you on many podcasts, so I feel very honoured that you're doing this one. I really appreciate you taking the time. And, you know, you're sat at home, the sun's blazing, so it's quite a rare sight, this, in April, isn't it? So
I know. Well, I was telling you, yeah, we like to, it's like London in this, when the sun comes out, it just comes alive. Everyone comes out of hibernation.
Well, you've got to make the most of it. It's probably going to be raining again tomorrow. Well, it is up here anyway, so it's, enjoy it while you can. So what are you up to at the moment? Have you got a bit of a break for a while, or are you just, is it a short break?
Yeah, we've got a good little break actually now, the longest one we've had in a while. We've just done a week's long cruise, sort of I think joint headlining the Monsters of Rock cruise, if you know it, and yes, that was really fun. 2 shows and really great, and just a total laugh on a week on a boat, and going from Miami through Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, and Dominican Republic and back. So that was great fun. But 2 shows in a week is quite easy for us.
Yes.
We're used to more of a grueling regiment. But yeah, before that we did a month in Australia, New Zealand, and 1 show in Singapore, and then just before that we did a 3-month stint in across America, Canada, and Europe. So yeah, we're keeping busy, but I think we're coming to the end of our Dreams on Toast album run now. So we're just gearing up for some festivals this year and this summer, and then we'll be in the studio soon, I think.
Amazing.
Or writing.
So these hard rock cruises, right? I see a lot of stuff on social media. It looks amazing, and you say 2 shows is that in a week?
6 days, yeah.
That's just. I mean, how does it work? Do you have like backline stuff on there? How do they get? Because obviously you're on a cruise ship. Do you bring your own stuff, or how does that work?
So I think we bring some stuff, but I think I think the kits were like hired and all that, or supplied, and but yeah, obviously guitars and all that stuff that they bring. I think we just bring my snare drum and pedal and cymbals. I think that's about it. Sticks.
And so I guess once you've done your gig, are you kind of wandering around with all the other punters, or do you have like a cordoned off section of the ship? Or
no. I think there's a band. There's an artist restaurant. I think one or 2 of those where you can go. But to be honest, we just spend our time just all over the shop. We're just hanging with some friends we haven't seen in ages, and some old fans that come to a lot of our shows. They usually show up, so it's always good to hang with them. And everyone's really nice, everyone gives you unless they're completely hammered, they give you your they give you some some nice space, but everyone's super nice. It's a great thing to do. The rest of the week's just a big piss up, really.
Well, because I was going to say there's got to be some serious drinking going on because you can't go anywhere once you finish playing. It's not like you have to go to another town. You just finish and go to the pub, I suppose.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I grew up in this industry, and I consider myself a modern day pirate of sorts. So put me on a boat, and the rum will be gone, and we just have a good time. It's great fun. It's great. It's just a holiday apart from the days you're working.
Yeah, and it seemed like half the world was on this ship. Some of the band names, I was just like, everyone, all the bands I follow were on there. And I don't know, is it one cruise or is there like loads of different weeks with different bands on and stuff?
No, that's just the one cruise. Yeah, there's I don't know how many bands are on it, but loads. And there's about 20 different stages or something like that.
Jeez.
And a whole load of different restaurants, and there's a go-kart track on the pool deck with a mini golf course, and it's endless. It's endless walking around.
It's like download on water then, essentially.
Yeah, it literally is. Yeah, that's cool. A good description.
Yeah. That sounds amazing. Blimey, yeah. So you're having a bit of a well-earned break, and I don't blame you. So, I mean, let's talk The Darkness, because obviously, great band. Was it 2015 you joined?
I think it was the end of. It could have been the end of 2014.
Yeah,
but yeah,
pretty close. I mean, a great band, and it's one of those when somebody gets a new band member, you're kind of like, oh, is it going to fit? Is it going to work? And I remember listening to the open track on Pinewood Smile when it came out, and I was like, oh, it works. It was like it was meant to be, wasn't it? The opening track, all the pretty girls, isn't it? And just that sound, and it was just like, oh yeah, this is a good match. Was it like that for you? Was it a good fit straight away?
Yeah, we had so I don't know if you know the story of how I joined, but
I don't.
It was a bit of a Spinal Tap kind of moment. I happened to be in Australia with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and I was on holiday, just visiting her, working, and basically I got a phone call from Dan, and he said he basically offered me the job and said, but we've got a show tomorrow night in London at the Gibson Rooms, and it's a press show for the new album, so it'll just be mainly press in there and a few fans, but so we're playing 8 songs, I think it was, from the new album, and so can you learn them? And I told him I'm in Sydney. I said, yeah, I can do it, and he goes, well, when would you get here? I said, well, if I left now, I'd get there maybe, I don't know, sometime in the morning. And he goes, okay, can you do this? And I was like, I don't know, we'll see. So learnt the songs on the plane, and just on my knees as best I could, and then scraped through the gig that night when I landed, and didn't sleep the previous night on the flight, and but when I met the guys, we had like a 45-minute rehearsal or whatever in a rehearsal studio in London, and the first time I'd ever met the guys, and we'd ever played together, obviously. And pretty much after the first chord, when we were playing together, when I came in, Dan just gave me this look like, oh that's good. Like that.
You're the one.
Yeah. So I think, and we've kind of all had that feeling ever since. So yeah, we hit the ground very much running.
So you've learned 8 tunes on the plane on the way home. Were you? And after what? Were you a fan of The Darkness before joining? Were they well on your radar, or? Yeah,
I've always been a huge fan. That helps. No word of a lie. As soon as they came out, I think "Growing on Me" was the first thing I ever saw, and it just. I was just comparing it to everything in the market at that time, and it was just all really wet to me, apart from the Foo Fighters, who I was obsessed with at that time. But it was just very, I don't know. I wasn't having fun with the music scene, and they just exploded onto it. And it was just, the evidence is right there. They have a great time playing. They have a great time writing. They're great writers. Justin's a fucking genius songwriter and guitar player. I would say Dan is, and this is before I joined, by the way, I'd say Dan's the best rhythm guitar player on the planet. I put Justin up there with one of the best guitarists on the planet, and vocalist and songwriter and everything. And Frankie and me just hold the back line and keep everything nice and fat and solid, and try not to over embellish anything. We just try and stay true to the music and true to ourselves, like have a laugh with it. And I don't think there's another band I could have this much fun with, really.
It looks like a proper family when you like brothers, essentially, when you see you live and any footage. It's just,
yeah, we absolutely are. We kind of feel like knights of the old ways in some kind of way. We do feel like we go into battle every night, and we do. I definitely put my body for a fucking car crash every night.
there's never anything left on that stage, is there? Everything is on.
No, absolutely not. And you can say that for every one of us, which I love being a part of. I that's the kind of band I like to watch. So.
Yeah, but going back to learning these songs, right?
Yeah.
I just can't get my head around that. The fact that you've learned, obviously, it's quite a long. It's probably 15, 20 hours or something. I'm guessing from. Did you say Perth?
I was in Sydney, so yeah, it's about 22 hours, so 24 hours. Yeah,
I know it's a long time, but of course, when these demos come out, they don't generally. Some have fade out, some will have endings, not many. But so, how do you go about learning the endings, which they might, might not be on the album? Is that done in the 45 minutes that you get to play with them?
Usually endings are done on the fly, on the night.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
like I'm quite good at reading endings, and I think as a drummer, like all the drummers I like we drive the bus, as Buddy Rich says, So it's like if we're in a band like ours, when there's potential to, there's never any click, there's never any tracks, there's never anything. It's everything you see is what you're hearing. And so there's loads of potential to go off piste and do whatever the fuck you want to do. And having Justin as a front man, you never know what he's going to throw at you. So I'm good at being like, oi, watch me, motherfuckers, we're ending now, or we're going to do this. And and they appreciate that, but otherwise we'll just look at Justin for a ludicrously long ending or a big jump, and whatever we feel like on the night.
I think you need that confidence as a player, as a drummer, to do that. I think you've got to have it. You've got to be confident, otherwise, it's car crash time.
Yeah, definitely. And I also like drummers that almost feel like they're on the edge of a car crash. You know what I mean? Like all together and safe, but on the edge of just falling to bits.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. Well, a great band, and as I say, it's a match made in heaven with you guys. So it's So it looks like a lot of fun and great music with it as well. So just fantastic.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun on stage, and coming up to 12 years now.
Wow,
which is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't mind, let's go back, because there's so much to talk about. What was your kind of first sort of memory of music? Obviously, we know your dad is. There's going to be a lot of music around the house, I'd imagine. What was your first memory of anything musical going on?
I mean, I've got very young memories of just like holding on to my dad's knee as he was in the studio working on solo stuff and whatever ideas he had. He's never out of the studio. He's always got something he's working on. And I would there's even some footage of me like demanding him to do stuff. yeah, I can't speak English properly, but yeah, I still know what's what. Apparently.
Yeah,
Um, so
lovely.
yeah, but other than that, it was just I grew up on the road. Really, I grew up uh, yeah, just in the background somewhere. They always kept us out of the limelight and all that, and they didn't want any of that for us, um, which is great. I really appreciated that. But yeah, I used to get lost a lot on tour,
Mm.
and when I was young, and they used to be like, "Where's Roo? Where's Roo? We've lost him." And I was always with the security guys. They were like, "Oh, he's with the security team. He's hanging out. He's like the mascot or something."
Oh,
So
beautiful.
yeah, I kind of grew up on tour. It's all I really know.
So were you kind of schooled then on tour, if you like, or did you get to go to school as well, or how?
No, I went to school. I went
Yeah.
to school, but yeah, just whenever I could, whenever we could, we would go visit him and
And did you
play.
understand? Did you understand what it was at a young age that was going on, or was it just so normal to you that it was just like whatever, it's going to work with?
Yeah, it was kind of normal. It was very normal. It took a few years before you start realizing, you know, what it means to other people,
Mm,
and then when that starts becoming clear, you're like, oh, okay, oh, this isn't that normal.
no.
Um, but he always downplayed everything. He always just he's like, yeah, it's no big deal.
I like. See,
um,
that's nice. That's the way to bring somebody up, isn't it? You know.
yeah, I think so. He did a
Mm,
great job in that regard. None of my siblings have a inflated ego or anything like that. So
yeah.
that's yeah, we all
No,
appreciate that.
that's fantastic. That's proper grounding. That. So, as far as drums go, then was it always going to be drums? Did you know? I'm guessing you have to cite your dad as an influence because you do naturally in every aspect of life, don't you? You look up to
Yeah.
whatever goes on. So, was it always drums for you, or was there any hint of anything else?
Um, I was always good at sport and things like that. Really liked tennis, and I was a fast runner and stuff. But I'd always played drums because of my dad from a
Mm,
young age, because I was influenced originally from him. Um, but then at the age of 6, I wasn't really playing drums properly at that time, but I could tinker.
mm.
Um, but at the age of 6, he introduced me to Taylor Hawkins, and then after that, I was just obsessed with that guy, and we became super super close. And then when I was about 12, I think, yeah, 12, um, I went to see one of their shows, and he started playing with one arm, and then he looked at me on the side of stage and pointed at me, and then went like that, like, come sit right here behind me, or next to me. And so I went and sat next to him and just stared at him for the whole show, and it was just, yeah, the most mesmerizing, coolest thing I've ever seen. And that was the moment where I was like, oh, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Everything else is dead in the water. I'm just going to be that guy now.
Because you do play in a very similar style with that power, that energy, similar feel, and that's meant as a compliment, obviously.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, well, I grew up learning how to play like him, basically, and
Mm,
watching him, and then trying to emulate it, and then yeah. So I've got like a mixed style of my dad and him.
mm,
I'd say mostly Taylor, but yeah, Taylor said we've got exactly the same, like, whip.
mm.
Like, our whip is exactly the
You can
same. It
you can
comes up
see
the
it.
same.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Are you totally self taught then, or did you pick any lessons up along the way?
I had a couple. I had a couple of lessons in what's it called, primary school,
Hmm.
and then but I'm a terrible student, like a really bad student. I was so distracted as a young kid. I was just anything else that I was doing, I was interested in or whatever. But yeah, and then I did do a drum course at oh my god, this is embarrassing. Drum Tech.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, in Acton, which was awesome. But I actually got a job before the final exam, so I didn't even finish it. But yeah, again, I'm a terrible student. I don't know how to read music. I never gave that enough time. I was always told by everyone I grew up with that I don't need it, and that you can play with your ear and learn with your ear. You know, so that's how I learn. But yeah, apart from that, no. It was just that was when I was a kid. I used to, for example, Good Times, Bad Times.
Mm-hmm.
When I first heard that, and a couple of things in Fire by the Jimi Hendrix Experience.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, that was like my oh shit. Okay, I need to know exactly how to do all of that. And
Manic Depression's another one for me. It's just like when I hear that.
Yeah.
That.
Oh, I've got a good manic depression story.
Oh.
But yeah, I'd ask like my dad. I'd say, what the hell is Bonzo doing on the bass drum in Good Time? I don't get it. I don't understand. And so yeah, he would help me out with things like that. And yeah, but yeah, mostly definitely self-taught. Definitely a lot of time spent as a kid just 10 hours straight every day. You know.
See, there's so much to be to do that. There's so much good to be taken from that, because I wish although I was into the classic rock stuff as well, I learned to read, and I think that takes away a little bit from your own creative style. A little bit. It's a useful tool, and I use it to this day. I do mainly reading gigs, but yeah, I don't sound.
Maybe as a kid, maybe as a kid, like you should probably develop a style first. Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know, but I think
I don't know. I don't read, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, but equally, I'm not in the darkness, so you know, I do slightly smaller gigs. But anyway, it's not about me. Yeah, so
I actually did a musical, and during the production rehearsal, the first day, the musical director, the MD, he goes, right, band, page 86, bar 16, 1, 2, 3, and he's like, and he goes, and I'm like, oh, whoa. Yeah, I don't know if anyone mentioned, but I don't read music. Like, all of this is kind of a bit useless to me. And he's like, oh, are you fucking serious? And you know, he tried to get me sacked on the spot. And
which musical was this?
It was We Will Rock You.
Oh, right.
I knew the songs. I didn't get it. I didn't get handed it. I had to do the audition and everything.
Sure.
But, I had to do it anonymously as well. But anyway, the guy tried to sack me because I couldn't read music, and he said, like, this is not going to work, you know. Yeah. And bless my good friend Matt, he was the percussionist in the band at the time, and we became good friends after this moment. But he was like, no, hold on. He walked over to me. He's like, Ru, do you not know how to read anything? I'm like, no, I can't read music for shit. No. And he's like, okay, do you know it by ear? Have you learned the whole thing by ear? I was like, yeah, from start to finish. And he goes, okay, this song, that boom boom like that. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. And then we did the whole thing like that. So whenever he'd call out a sheet page or whatever, Matt would just give a 2-second this one, and I'd be like, oh cool, I'm in, and then we'd be in.
That blows my mind.
And he saved my job, you know.
So you had to audition.
Matt McLaughlin. Thanks, Matt.
Oh, so you had to audition without declaring kind of, you know, family members, shall we say. You just had to go and do it, and that's that.
Yeah, it was scary. It was a scary day. It was like 30-something other drummers, and all in the Dominion Theatre, and we all had to listen and watch each drummer, you know, as they do their part. But luckily I got it. Mike Dixon gave it to me because he said that I played the songs and I wasn't filling and trying to show off or do my own thing.
Yeah.
And he said that's exactly what we need. I was like, great.
Cool. Did you play the parts faithfully then to your dad's stuff? Was that, you know?
Yeah, I just played them as well as I knew them.
Yeah.
As the part. Yeah.
Oh my God, that takes some learning. Did you do the open hi-hat thing with the snare? Because I did it every single time. Yeah.
Every single time.
that's just. I think it's in innuendo. I hear it, and I'm like, it's like, oh my! Every time it puts a smile on my face. It's just like, yeah.
It's obviously super powerful.
A later track, I know, but
no one can quite do it like him, though.
No.
I try, but I can't quite get the heaviness that he gets out of it.
It sounds shit when I do it. I'll be honest. So I don't do it because, you know, I'm doing a massive injustice by trying to do it. So, that blows my mind. So you had to learn, and were the arrangements pretty much as the originals, or were they messed about with? Because I've heard bits of We Will Rock You. I've never seen it as a show.
Yeah, no, they were pretty much the same. I think that obviously there's like a cast in a musical, so they've got to do like speaking parts, and so some of the songs are chopped up, and you know, they might finish a verse early or whatever, and so yeah, there's some changes like that. But I like I said, I found an audio CD of the whole musical, and I just played it from first track to end. I don't know how many times, but until I had the whole thing.
So I couldn't do that. I could listen to it for eternity. No? It wouldn't go in. No, I have to see.
Yeah.
I'm envious that you can do that so easily. You know, I couldn't do it. No.
Well, it didn't help me at school. I couldn't remember anything at school. But if it was something I was really interested in, like it works with movies as well. If I can watch a good like Sergio Leone Western, I'll probably remember every line after 1-2 times watching it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's almost like photographic memory. It's weird. But no, I can't do it.
But only with very specific things. Yeah. Completely useless, really.
Well,
apart from
you got you the gig. And the thing is, right, I suppose on that gig, once you've learnt it and it's in there, you can relax, can't you? Well, not totally, but you can relax a lot more than the ones who were having to read it and turn the pages, and you might as well be on a stage at a gig, it was a proper gig. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was a 3-hour long set, and we were doing like 10 of those a week, and I did that for like 2.5 years straight.
Massive discipline.
That's definitely oh yeah, that is exactly what it gave me a lot of, and I'm so grateful for that. It was non-stop hard touring, hard work, you know.
Oh, so you were the touring one as well? Were you doing the tour?
Yeah, it was the touring one. It was the touring around Europe, and you have to find and pay for your own accommodation, and it was a lot of figuring out, and you know, there's no one to take over the drumming job if you're sick, so you got to just do it. And I had flu, pneumonia, all sorts of things, you know. But it was great. It was a great thing to do, and amazing discipline. And even if it's doing pretty much the exact same thing every night, it was discipline and playing to the same intensity every night, you know. But like, as to going back to what you said about getting a bit relaxed with it, a couple of us were a bit too relaxed. We would sneak off for a cheeky pint in the 15-minute break in between.
Been there, done that. Yeah,
it's great.
Oh. But you know, if you know it back to front, inside out, as long as
exactly. Yeah.
The problem I have with that is if I do have 1 or 2 in the interval, and it's a long second half. It's not the playing. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, I need that piss. You know, what do you do? And you.
I know what you mean.
That is what plays on my mind. I'm older than you, so you know, it's just like.
Well, my friend used to try and fit 2 pints in, and I was like, I said no for that reason. I'm like, no, I've been here before. That's good. I'm gonna be pissing in an hour.
It is torture, isn't it? When you're like, oh my God, just praying for it just to go, and you know, it's not nice at all. It's pretty horrible. Oh, but amazing. Do you know what? A friend of mine was, I possibly on that tour, and it was a guy called Kane Parry. Can you remember him?
Kane Parry, that rings a bell.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
tall guy,
yeah,
really nice guy. He lived.
yeah, really lovely guy. I remember Kane. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool because he's from a very talented family from North Wales, and I've been out drinking with
Yeah,
Kane
Welsh guy.
times.
Yeah, I remember him very well. Yeah,
yeah, he's a good guy. So I remember him. He may even said that you were on drums at that time, and it was a long time ago, so I can't remember. But yeah, Kane's a dude. Yeah. So there you go.
No, lovely guy. Yeah,
small world, eh? Small world.
Yeah, very.
So from there, I'm guessing was because you did some stuff with your dad, obviously with Queen and Adam Lambert at that point. Was that a difficult or an easy decision? Because I've had this conversation with Nick Collins, who's in a kind of a similar boat to yourself, and Trev Lukather as well. And I said, is it harder or easier, having a very famous father doing the same job? And they both said they think it's harder because you've got to prove yourself twice over almost, that you haven't just been handed stuff on a plate. And how do you feel about that?
Okay, it's a tricky one. I mean, I don't know because I can only speak from my,
of course, yeah,
from how it was for me. But yeah, I think a lot of people would say it's harder.
Yeah.
A lot of people who know me would say it's harder. But I also had, I was lucky enough to have. I'll tell you why. So I was lucky in the way that we do the same thing, and I have the inspiration from an early age, and I've got someone to go to about all of it, and who's been through it all and then some, and so in that respect, I'm incredibly lucky, and he was a musician that did well, and so he had a studio in his house with a drum kit that I could play as a kid, and it wasn't pissing off any neighbors, I don't think, so in all those respects, like, incredibly lucky, and the people he introduced me to, I wouldn't have met Taylor, or all this stuff. But on the other flip side of the coin, I found a lot of those decisions very difficult, and I actually considered quitting. Wow. For quite a while, just because of for so many years after I started playing the drums in a professional capacity, I was just getting shit for it online and in the papers, whatever was whenever I was being written about, it was just he got that job his dad gave him that job so he could get a tax break and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
And it was just non-stop, and so yeah, I considered just giving up for a while, and but yeah, Taylor inspired me to keep at it, and he was like, fuck all that, you're gonna have your own name soon, and I know how hard you work and like what you put in, and to be honest, hearing that was like, well, to be honest, you're the only opinion I give a shit about, so yeah, fuck it, I'll keep going. And then I can't remember when, but Brian asked me to join Queen, and that was like, oh god, if I say yes to the dream opportunity, right? It's like anyone would fucking chop off both their legs to do that, but it would keep me firmly in that bracket, of maybe not trying to branch out on my own or whatever. But yeah. Oh, my dad actually gave me a good bit of advice about that as well. He said, every cunt's got an opinion. I was like, yeah, you're right.
How true. Yeah. The thing is, you deliver the goods, and that's all you can ask of somebody. You deliver the goods and then some.
And a lot of critics don't actually even know how to play the drums, maybe, or whatever. So it's like,
There's a lot of bitterness and just jealousy, isn't there? You know,
I'm so glad I said yes though, because it was literally the 5 greatest years of my life, and I've never spent that much time with my dad before, and across the board, it was just like the best decision I ever made, and I learned so much. Yeah, and I was incredibly lucky to be touring like that. I had to keep pinching myself though. Like, this isn't normal. This isn't normal touring. You got to lower your expectations.
Yeah, but I mean, just to 5 years is a long time doing something like that, isn't it? And it worked so well. The 2 kits, because if you go, anybody can go on YouTube and watch, like, used to do the drum battle thing, and it worked amazingly. It was just like the joy, and
it was special.
It's phenomenal. You get to play those songs with those people, and yeah, you delivered the good. If you were up there and you had no groove, nothing, then you could go, oh yeah, okay, he's done him a real favour here. But at the end of the day, your dad's no fool. He's not going to put somebody on that stage who can't deliver the goods. Simple.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I knew that. It's just when you see it all the time, it's like, for fuck's sake, when are they going to just have a listen and maybe
listen with your ears, not your eyes, and it's a real thing, isn't it? And
yeah. Well, we were accused by the New York Times for the entire backing vocals were on track. That's what they said in the New York Times. It's like, how fucking dare you? We are all singing these. Like, I'm doing the fucking high note, and it's not easy. And it's like we're all doing it and nailing it. And so it obviously sounds good if you think it's on track. But it's like, how many millions of people are going to read that and fucking believe it? Yeah. You complete arsehole.
It's like, thanks for the compliment. If you think that's on track, then that's the ultimate compliment, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So you sing as well, because obviously your dad's known for doing all the high stuff. So have you inherited that voice as well?
I've got high falsetto. I can get up there if I'm being sensible and not drinking too much and stuff. But yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know how high he could go. I know my Fairy King was really fucking high. I can do that.
Yeah, that's decent. That'll do.
But he's got this awesome gravel to his, which is I don't know. Maybe it comes a bit more with some age, but But it's I haven't got that sexy gravel thing he's got.
We were talking about what Hendrix song were we talking about before? And you said I've got a story about that. I forgot which. It was Manic Depression.
Oh yeah, Manic Depression. Yeah.
What's the...
So my dad was doing a charity show for one of his best mates. An amazing, beautiful show called Wintershall, and he has some amazing artists play on it. Clapton does it a lot, and my dad does it a lot, and I know, you name it, they've all done it. But so yeah, my dad was headlining a good 15 years ago, something like that, and he was singing 10 songs, and he wanted me to play drums for them. I was like, yeah, of course. So we had one half a day rehearsal, and we're in the studio, and I'm looking at the bass player, this guy called Steve Stroud, who I've known for years. They're all old school dudes who've been playing for a long time, and nothing phases them. Anyway, they all shit their pants collectively when they start murmuring together, and I'm like, what's happening? And they said, Jeff Beck's coming round, and he wants to play a bunch of songs with us. And I'm like, oh, okay. What does he want to do? Because his drummer's fucking Vinny Colaiuta. I got some work to do. And he goes, and they're like, we don't know. So anyway, so he shows up, and he's like, I just want to do People Get Ready, Say It's Not True, one of my dad's solo songs. Yeah. And then he goes, and I want to do maybe 4 Jimi Hendrix songs. So we were like, okay, which ones do you want to do? And he's like, well, maybe Little Wing. Do you know Little Wing? I was like, yeah, I know Lil Wing. And then he goes, okay. Oh, and I really want to do Manic Depression. And the whole band collectively at the same time just swung their heads around and looked at me and went like that. And I was like, yeah, it's been years since I've heard that. He's like, you ever played it? I'm like, no, but just give me 10 seconds just to listen to it again. So I went outside. I just played the first literally 10 seconds. And I was like, yeah, okay, I think I got this. I think I remember the song completely, I think.
It's a fruity drum track, that one, isn't it? It's a good one.
Yeah. And I without tooting my own horn or anything, but I fucking nailed it. And he was really impressed. Yeah. And I played it with like confidence, not like, oh yeah, is this it? And he was really, really impressed. And and then we ended up doing it. But that was my little Manic Depression story.
Cool. Oh my God, Jeff Beck. Oh
yeah, Jeff fucking Beck. Yeah.
Pinch yourself moment, that.
Yeah, and he even offered me a job after that show. So after that show, yeah, he was like, and it was in front of my dad as well. My dad couldn't fucking believe it. He was like, so what are you doing next year? Are you busy? And I was like, I just laughed. I thought he was joking. And he was like, no, really. What are you fucking doing next year? Like, how busy are you? I've got a few tours planned, one with Brian Wilson and some cool stuff. And I was like, I couldn't believe what I was hearing, And my dad just at one point in the night later on said, well, you're playing with the big boys now.
He sounds like a proper no-nonsense character, your old man. I love it.
Yeah, he is. He's a lot of fun. He's a big kid, really, but he is also that. Yeah.
That's ace. I love it. Yeah. Oh man. And look, time's creeping up on us here, right? And I promised I wouldn't keep you too long, but obviously we have to talk Taylor Hawkins. Obviously, when he passed away, it was just like a tidal wave of shock, and it was. I've never seen drummers, musicians so affected, by something so horrible. Yeah. And but obviously he was a good friend of yours. Obviously, it goes without saying how hard it hit you. But we have to talk about the tribute show because it was put together so quickly. And it was both the shows were so huge. Obviously, it was a no-brainer that you were going to do it. How was that? It must have been every sort of I don't know, sadness, pride. It must have been everything all there all at once.
It was it was super tough. It was very, very, very emotional day. But it wasn't really like, it was weird. It wasn't very emotional, like getting there and stuff. And because, there's a lot going on and you got to meet people and whatever. And, there was a lead up to the Wembley. So there was like 6 days or a week of dinners and drinks and with all the artists, and Dave sorted that all out. And, so that was cool, and he kept me really close for the whole thing, and that was nice. And and obviously I know they're like my family. I know all of their crew and security and band and their families, and know them really, really, really closely. So yeah, it was nice to see all them and stuff. But yeah, the dinners, and so that was like a lead up. It was like kind of a fun kind of lead up to it, really celebrating more than anything. Him, and then the day I started feeling a bit, sad when it was it was very powerful when I was sat behind the stage, and there was a big net, which was I was in the stands, outside my dressing room, but there was a big net blocking off the artist dressing rooms and the seats behind the stage from the rest of the crowd. And then they opened the doors and the crowd started coming in. And there was something about that for some reason, like when the crowd all started coming in, because they were all like, you could hear them all collectively murmuring about him. You know what I mean? It was like I don't know, you could feel it. It was so that was something, and then I fucking broke down a little bit in Best of You on both fucking times. There was something about it was how Dave said something. I was totally fine the whole time, and then Dave said something after my solo, after the second solo, because I didn't have a fucking clue what I was going to do. I didn't have a Scooby. I was just winging it and trying to play it kind of safe and whatever. But yeah, totally fine. And then did the big 5-minute long solo, or whatever it is. It's like, fucking hell, okay. Got through that, let's do the ending now. And then Dave said something. He's like, I can't remember what it was right now, but it's like, let's hear it for Rue or something like that. And but it just sounded so like Taylor.
Yeah,
it was just very weird, and it hit me both times for some reason. But yeah, recovered.
Oh man, honestly, you absolutely just did that song so much justice. It was just like, oh my god, this is
Oh, thanks, man. The LA one was better. I was too nervous on the Wembley one, I think.
It didn't sound it though. You're always your own worst critic, and
yeah.
As an outsider, just watching on, I think it was on YouTube, wasn't it? Was it streamed on YouTube? I think that's where I watched it.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Paramount. Or something.
Yeah, which I was just blown away. Both performances. So it was just like,
oh, thanks, man.
And it was so much so that obviously when the Foos are carrying on, obviously your name was bandied around quite a lot, being the perfect fit. And were you aware of all that at the time? Because there was a few names obviously that were constantly floating around.
Yeah. I was very aware of it. The whole world would not leave it alone.
No.
But also, it's a tricky one. It's a lot.
It's not a nice situation.
Emotionally, it's a hell of a lot. Like Taylor always used to say it. He used to say, you got to take over now, motherfucker. I'm getting too old for this shit. It's your time now. And I'd be like, fuck off, But at the same time, in this context, it would be a lot. It would be a lot for me to deal with. It would be just emotionally,
Absolutely.
It would be a lot, and it would be a hell of a lot for Dave and the guys to turn around and see someone who looks exactly like him, who hanged out with him all the time. It would be quite close to home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a wonderful idea, but I don't know. It's quite close to home,
And hey, let's be honest, you're in a fantastic band as it is, so
exactly. And I fucking love my guys, and I've had some crazy offers. I won't say, but I've stayed true to my guys, because I just can't find another situation where I'd find 3 people I get on with better and have a more like-mindedness approach to everything and similar music tastes. We all hate click track. We all hate auto-tune. We all hate pitch correction. We know the ones who are using it as well. We know you. So we just agree with everything on all fronts. And we have a fucking laugh every single fucking day in the studio or on tour. So
it's evident every time you see any footage. It's just like, there's smirks all over the place, and it just looks like, just like the ultimate.
Yeah, honestly, if it was a TV show, it would clean up. Yeah.
Oh, mate, this has been honestly what an absolute privilege to spend this time with you. I really appreciate it. Honestly, it's been.
Oh, likewise, Matthew. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, honestly, I really appreciate you giving your time up, and hopefully, I'll get to shake your hand in person at some point or other. And it's always nice to do that. So, hey,
yeah, man, I hope so. Are you coming to any shows or anything?
I've no idea what's ahead, but I will certainly. I'll have a look. And
the big Nebworth one could be fun.
Oh my god!
Supporting Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah, I've forgotten about that. Yeah.
Got a UK tour and an arena tour in December. So we're doing the O2 and stuff like that. So.
I'll try and nip along to one of those, definitely. Amazing stuff.
Yeah, do, man. Let me know.
I will do. Thanks so much, mate. Enjoy the rest of the sunshine, and I'll see you.
Thanks, man.
See you soon. Take care, mate.
And you, Matty. Nice speaking to you.
Bye-bye.